Hey guys, welcome to the Money Mix podcast number 12. Thank you guys for joining us again. And I'm Al, and that's Stan. So, Stan, why don't you start with the first topic of the day?
Okay. Well, the first topic is Bitcoin surpassing 30,000, which is a pretty big deal right now, since we were hovering just below 25,000 for a while. And the real simple reason as to why we're actually going up is not because of the SEC being in trouble with everybody. It's because BlackRock and Fidelity and so many more other companies that are gaining traction in the crypto world, they're all filing for the ETF again. And this is really helping the price go up. So, what do you think, Al? What's going to
Well,
happen at this point?
well, well. Let me ask you first. Why do you think these companies are right now getting into it? Why do you think it's like what what made them wait to this point?
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean,
Well,
these are big companies with lots of money that are getting into it at
yeah.
now.
Well, I don't think they're getting into it now. I think they're just making it public now. But the timing is right, and the news cycle of the bull run of crypto is going to happen very soon, potentially next year. Obviously, no financial advice.
Wait. So you don't think the bull run is starting now? You think it's only going to start next year?
Yeah, I think. I mean, right now is just a little bit of a taste. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it could, but see, we have a economic factor that's pretty much preventing it from beginning right now, and that is PAL and the fact that they have projected potentially more interest rates hikes. That's not going to do well for the economy. They have to actually, I think, reverse. And once they reverse their stance on the interest rates and they start cutting back the interest rates, I think then that's when the bull run is actually going to start. Right now, it's just a little bit of a taste.
So you're thinking, so right now you're thinking that this is just kind of like the tip, but meaning it's not going to go much further. You don't think that like we're gonna see it go to 35, 40,000 right now?
No, I think there's a chance that Bitcoin goes, from this point anywhere from 40 to 48,000 at the moment, and
Yeah.
then I think we're gonna have more, potential bad economic news. And remember, the SEC, they can bring that out as well. And like Binance was sued and Coinbase was sued. I mean, there's no resolution as of yet for any of that. So, they can bring back all the bad news and we again collapse. But I really do think that essentially the big story here is that the SEC has not really reversed. That's what I think.
Hmm.
That's what I think will hold it. But what they're indicating is the fact that crypto is the future. And look at all these big hedge funds, money funds and all that stuff that are actually interested in investing into crypto because we never had this before, right? So even if we go to like 48,000, it's still going to be very cheap.
Well,
That
that's the thing. I mean, for one, I think there's a lot of people that don't always know. They're kind of like a little late to the game when it comes to investing in crypto. Is that all cryptos go the way of Bitcoin in a sense, where Bitcoin goes up, you'll see the whole market basically go up with it. It might not be instantaneously all the time, but it is something that we have seen, and I think that's where a lot of people, get burned by when they try to invest into it. And again, this is not in any way telling you how to invest. It's just more kind of like just that's usually what happens.
right.
Um,
Well, a lot
but
of people, well, a lot of people don't know how markets work. So, when they hear the good news, they're like, okay, so
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. Sorry, sorry to interrupt
yeah,
you. I just want to like clarify something. The reason I mentioned that is because that is very different than investing into stocks. Because there is no stock that, like, for example, if Amazon does well today or Apple does well today, it doesn't mean anything for other stocks. It has nothing. Like the biggest stocks in the world have nothing to do with the smaller stocks. Whereas in crypto, it everything is so solidly behind Bitcoin that it really affects the vast majority of cryptos.
Yeah, I agree.
And
But
that
that's
and
because
that's the reason why we're really talking about it even today, is
yeah,
because meaning if like we would never have a conversation, me and you, about like, oh hey, by the way, did you know that this small crypto right over here, it went up 400%? No, because it's like it has nothing to do with anything. It's its own kind of entity. Whereas Bitcoin is literally the whole entire market moves with crypto, with Bitcoin, excuse me.
right, right, right. Well, because it was the first, and it's considered the gold standard, and
Mhm.
it's way ahead of any other cryptocurrency at this moment. And like I said, there are a lot of huge companies that are filing for the ETF. So in crypto, the ETF is like the holy grail. So if people think that if it gets approved, then Bitcoin is guaranteed to, go from where it is now to at least 100,000 and beyond, or
Mhm.
even a million, because that's also up for discussion. But I think that it's all about baby steps, because in the crypto world, people have been talking about $100,000, ever since I got in 2016. So, and it still hasn't happened yet. So, I mean, yeah, I think that this particular cycle that we're gonna have, which is gonna start really next year, I think that we might hit 99,000.
Well, I mean, you're really sold on this whole thing next year. I'm really curious as to what's going to really happen this year, because to me, the fact that it's breaking 30,000 because of the interest of these big companies, I wouldn't be surprised if it right now continues going up. Maybe not 99,000 or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a kind of a new wave, a similar wave to the one that happened only what, a year ago or something.
A
Um,
year, a year and a half ago.
a year and a half ago, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is because, again, most people, the way that they invest is when they hear that they're losing out on something, that's when people come in, and that's where a lot of people get burnt.
Right.
And
I would agree with you,
mhm,
except for there is no real resolution, right? So in a sense, like there's no resolution with the SEC, right? Because we
mhm,
have the XRP lawsuit. They're saying any day now, the judge is going to come out and provide a ruling for it, and it hasn't happened yet.
right.
Gary Gensler is still off. He is still in office, and he's still going to probably go after companies. And there's no resolution with Coinbase or Binance, and he labeled a bunch of cryptos as securities. So there's no resolution there. The Fed is another cloud which is hovering over crypto and the stocks, and there's no resolution there either, because supposedly next month we're going to start to see increases in interest rates.
But
Uh,
but let me
s-
ask you. I understand. I
yeah,
understand where you're going. You're basically saying that there's still developing things, right? My question is, why do you think it would be by next year that these things would even be resolved? I mean, couldn't it be like this is going to be going on for years and years to come? That
no,
there's not going to be a real resolution for the stuff?
no, I don't think so. Just because if they continue to raise interest rates, then I mean you'll see more closures of banks and potentially companies, and people won't be able to purchase homes and cars and etc. Right? So they have to come to a resolution with that, right? So, in my opinion, I think that the Fed is going to pivot relatively soon. Something big will happen for sure. Maybe a big bank is going to end up shutting down, and they're like, okay, wait a second, this is enough. This is like too much, right? So I think that they're going to start cutting rates probably next year, and the SEC resolution I think is going to come, and potentially they either get rid of Gensler, or they're going to have a framework for cryptos, because if you really do your homework, then you should know that cryptos are the future. So I really,
Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like between me and you, you're obviously way more bullish on crypto than I ever was. It's actually kind of surprising that you're taking the more slow approach than I am. I'm kind of thinking that this might be a good sign for crypto in general. You're thinking that it's like it might be a good sign,
no,
but
it
it's not.
is.
It's a prolonged thing, meaning this is not a like we're going to see next week. It's going to be at 40,000 or 50,000 or something.
No, no, no,
So
no, no. I'm no, no. I'm actually disagreeing with what you said right now. No, that could happen. That could happen
okay,
next month, right? I don't think 50. I think like closer to 40, 48, somewhere within that range. But I'm
okay.
saying that after, when they again say that, oh, we're increasing interest rates, then I think that it's gonna reverse. That's all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Let me ask you this. Okay, this is something that I've noticed. I'm sure other people have as well. Do you think that there's a correlation from, like, a lot of times we see when crypto goes up, we a lot of times see stocks go down, and kind of vice versa as well. Like right now, this week, while crypto is going up, stocks have been dipping this week in a lot of areas.
Right,
Do
right.
you think that there's any correlation there, or do you think this is just kind of like just a coincidences that happen? Like it just like hey, sometimes stocks go up, sometimes they go down, sometimes
Well,
crypto goes up, sometimes it goes down.
I mean, generally, like crypto would go up with the stock market. Gold will go up too. But yet again, like we really don't know what's happening behind the scenes, because the money from the stock market could be flowing into the crypto market because of this news, right? This is really
Right.
huge news, right?
Mhm.
So, and if you understand how cryptos work, this is my opinion, not financial advice. I think the stock market is going to transition into the cryptocurrency market. So, I mean,
What do you
not
mean by that? Wait, what do you mean by that?
yeah. So, and I'm not saying now. I'm saying in the
Sure,
future.
sure.
So, meaning that the stocks will be bought like 24/7. Meaning like you will be able to trade it 24/7, and they're going to be on the blockchain instead of like the traditional.
Oh, I see, I see. So,
Yeah.
so instead of it just being a digital, basically nothing, in the sense it would be each stock will be kind of a cryptocurrency in and of itself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if
Okay,
that's
okay.
how I don't know if that's how they're gonna label it.
No, no, no. I understand, but that would be the basic idea that meaning it's a tangible thing, and you only have that one of a kind of thing for it, right?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
No, I
That's
could see that. I could see this sometime in the future. Sure, why not? I mean, it's way more tangible. It's something that yeah, you could hold. Yeah, I could see that. The thing is, there is something to say about that because back in the day you got certificates
yeah.
basically when you got an actual stock you had something that you could pass it on and stuff like that and it was that now it's digital so it is different and if you could actually transfer it the same way if I have a digital coin of let's say Amazon if I could transfer it over to you without doing any other shenanigans without having to sell it without having to whatever just go like hey here you go here's a one stock
Right,
in Amazon. That's
right.
actually
And I don't
I
know.
can see the benefit there.
Right, I don't know if you know. I forgot the term of this, but there are brokerage companies who oversell a particular stock because for example, like let's say there are 20,000 shares of Amazon, just hypothetically,
So,
and those have been sold. They can technically create more and pretend to have it and then sell it. But see, here's the problem. If this whole system breaks apart, talking about the stock market, it breaks apart and it goes to cryptocurrency, the people who are holding these phantom shares, I'm sorry, they're going to be left without anything. So I mean,
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. It's basically if there's a Ponzi scheme, that's when it will
yeah.
be, seen for what it actually
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So if you don't hold the certificate of a particular stock, you technically don't actually own it. I mean, You can sell.
Well, I don't know if
No,
you
you can sell
technically
it.
don't own it. Yeah, you still own it. Like, yeah,
No, I'm saying
there's
you can
still
sell.
value.
No, I'm saying you can sell it, but if you want to hold onto it for a decade or more, you know what I mean? And something like
You can
this
still
happened.
do that. Oh yes.
Yeah,
If something like this happens, yes.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. There could be like, if the transition actually does happen, I could see there being a lot of waves made from that, for sure. For sure, there could be waves made from that.
yeah,
But I mean, the argument for it to switch over, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's there. When it will happen, who knows? And the thing is, a lot of people have to agree to it. So there's that. So it might
exactly,
happen basically, but yeah. But
exactly, exactly.
all right, okay. So I think we kind of went around the whole topic. So at this point, it just seems like crypto market is going up, and I kind of feel like it might continue going up pretty solidly. But who knows? It might not. You you definitely think it, like, for next year, that's when it's really gonna blow up.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. So let's move on to the next topic. Next topic is kind of a fun one. So Zuckerberg and Elon Musk agree to fight each other, and from what I understand, it's going to be an MMA fight. This started, for anyone who doesn't know, this started with Elon Musk being asked a question if he could defeat um, Zuckerberg. And he said, "Well, yeah, I'm just a much bigger man than he is. So, yeah, of course, if we would fight, I would beat him. Yes." And again, it wasn't like this was a joking back and forth. Obviously, no one's planning to fight each other. And then I guess Zuckerberg was asked a similar question. He has been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the last few years. He's really got into it. He started participating in tournaments, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he won or two. He won one or two of them. Um, so Zuckerberg was recently asked if he would, and I guess he said, "Hey, I'm down to fight him. Let's do it." And just today, Elon Musk accepted it. So it seems like this is like something that will potentially will happen. Now, the
Yeah.
question is, what kind of thing do you think will happen now, or do you think there's going to be an effect on the companies at all,
Well,
whoever wins?
I mean, I think this is more of a publicity stunt than anything else. I don't think this actually will happen. Elon Musk probably knows what Zuckerberg is doing, and Zuckerberg knows what Elon Musk is doing. You know what I mean? I really don't see an actual physical altercation. Now, I could see two AI robots that they build fighting against each other. That's more realistic than both of them going at it one on one. But let's say they do fight and one of them loses, then it will look horrible for him and for the company, right? I mean, Elon Musk is revered, right? I mean, Zuckerberg
Well,
not
wait. Hold on.
not so much.
I wouldn't, right, but I wouldn't go. Elon Musk is revered by some people and
Okay,
hated by some people. So it's
yeah.
not like right now he's extremely polarizing. I would say not necessarily revered. I wouldn't
Well,
necessarily go that
by
way.
by his fans, and
Sure.
there are a lot of people who actually like. I mean, I would say maybe more on the left like him. It's hard to say actually because
No. It used to be people on the left liked him until he said he's going to vote right, and now people on the right like him and the left can't stand him.
I
It's a very weird
but wouldn't you?
dynamic at this
But
point.
oh, I see so many Teslas in California. I mean, it's ridiculous because
Yeah,
before.
well, remember, but by the way, this is not only California. It's literally the best-selling car in the world.
Okay,
It's not.
I'm
It's not
saying,
like a kind of like a,
okay,
like you're obviously going to see a lot of it.
but if you go to a small city, in a rural town or
Well, in the
whatever.
rural town, they
uh,
buy trucks, though.
Yeah,
That's a little different. So
yeah.
so it is unfair to compare that because they usually don't buy
Hey,
the best-selling cars.
hey, he's
What?
coming out with a Cybertruck, so
Right.
he
We
wants
still
to.
don't even know, I think, how much the car is. So that really depends. If he come out with the Cybertruck that is like 40-ish thousand area,
No way.
I,
No
I I agree with you.
way.
But I'm saying if it comes out, I think it will become the number one probably selling car just because the
Yeah,
areas you're talking about, this is the car that they would buy. Absolutely.
true. It'll be
But
weird.
but if it's like 60, $70,000, I don't think most people are going to be buying it in rural areas.
Uh,
I just don't think they're going to be just spending that money on it.
Well, they probably don't even have chargers, right? So
No, no, they do. No, no,
they
like
do.
yeah, chargers at this point are pretty widely, everywhere. So yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
remember, most people could now just charge it at home as well. Like if we're talking
Yeah.
about rural areas, you live in a house, so you just plug in your car at home.
No,
So
they could. They could. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, a lot of, a lot of people on the left probably have Tesla. I mean, so I'm just saying
yes,
that.
yes. But
Um,
remember, this happened. This shift happened just recently. So I think there's going to be a lot of people on the left who are like, I'm going to give my car back as
and then
soon
what are
as,
they gonna
as
what are they gonna buy?
well, another car. What do you mean? You could always trade in for another car.
Yeah, but not too many cars have, a long enough range, I think, as they do. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. Not too
I
many good
agree
cars.
with you. I agree with you. But in terms of like people standing up to like, oh well, I don't like that he likes this, so I'm not gonna get his products anymore. There's gonna be some people who will give their cars back because of that.
Yeah.
They're like, but yeah, but
But okay, going back,
yeah,
I mean, Elon Musk doesn't do much of exercise and martial arts or anything like that. Zuckerberg supposedly, he wants some tournament. I don't know what kind of
no,
tournament he
he
was.
no he has been training, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Joe Rogan even talked about like he trains like with legit like meaning like his like the people that teach him the sport are really high tier.
Right. I mean,
So
I'm assuming he can afford any tier he wants, right?
yes, yes, yes. But meaning he's not like he's not training with like the like because he could train with like some guy who's like, oh, I like yoga, but he's like really famous with the stars. No, that he went for the guy that trains the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. That's who he went to, and that's who he's under. So I mean, like like how good he is, it's kind of hard to tell because I'm not really into that sport. But he obvious in terms of skill level versus somebody who has been training for years, Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk, who by his standard he's not athletic, he's not trained, he's just
uh,
like I'm bigger.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that doesn't work. And he has a belly, and he doesn't look very athletic at all. But yet again, I don't know.
right.
Uh,
Well,
I still think Zuckerberg has to win. I mean, like it's a simple matter of fact. Like
I
it,
feel like
he's bigger, yeah. He weighs more,
yes.
but he's not going to be able to sit on Zuckerberg. I think.
Well, he could sit on him. The problem he might get choked out sitting on him. Like whatever he tries to do, if there really is a no skill versus skill,
Yeah.
I believe that it's very clearly going to be Zuckerberg who would choke him out. But I do have to admit, like the fact that both of them are doing this is actually kind of cool. I don't know, like when was the last time you've heard the richest people in the world deciding to get in the ring? Even if
Yeah.
it doesn't happen, I don't know. The idea is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the idea is cool. It's fun to think about and hypothesize, but I don't think it's going to happen. What do you think?
I think that it has the chance of happening. I'm not like 100% sold on it that it will because just I don't know. I can't like right now the fact that both of them have said that they will do it. That's my only reason for saying that it might happen because if either of them pull out, that one is going to be called basically like, oh, it's like okay, well you're
Or
scared,
maybe
obviously.
or maybe the story just goes away and people forget like usual. But
I don't know. This story is too um too like um too funny in a way to go away that easily. Like
okay.
the only thing is this. The only way I could see it going away is if they go, okay, we're gonna do this in next year. Okay. Elon Musk wants to get it back into shape, whatever. So in a year we do it. And then like, you know, 8 months from now, they're like, okay, we're gonna postpone it for 2025. Okay, we're gonna do it at 20. And at that point, I could see if it gets postponed enough, people are like, all right, this thing isn't happening, and people will stop caring. But if they actually go, okay, in 6 months we're doing it, I could see it actually happening. But I do agree with you. I think that there's not much to gain from for them,
Yeah.
except again, I guess the winner could have bragging rights to some extent. Like that's true, I would say. That the
But
winner
I
would
mean,
have.
like honestly, like Zuckerberg, as of right now, if he wins, I think that he would gain a lot of brownie points with a lot of people just because, they probably see him as a geek and, he's on the left, blah, 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 blah.
Right. There it would definitely be in some sense it would definitely be similar, not exactly the same. So I'm not like anyone who's listening going like, oh these are very different. But um a George Foreman versus all I'm sorry, not Foreman. This would be Frazier versus Muhammad Ali. And for anyone who doesn't follow boxing, I make it very quick.
Frazier versus who? Say it again.
Ali, Ali, Ali. Yeah,
How
like
would
this
that
was
be?
like what?
How are you comparing the two?
Right. Okay. Okay. The thing is, it's not their grand fighting or anything. But the thing is, those fights became bigger than they were because of what they represented. You had Frazier, who was like the industry standard. He was the guy who follows. He wants to serve in the army. He wants to. This is like the Vietnam War type of time. And Muhammad
Right.
Ali is like he's against it, and it became this like, oh, do you want to listen to this bad guy, whatever, or do you want to be with the the true American guy who wants to serve in our country and all that kind of stuff? And it became more than they are. I kind of feel like there's a similarity here where they're like people are not going to care about the individual as much as what they represent. And you have Facebook
Right.
that is about censoring the bad stuff out to remove all the things that you cannot talk about and being on the right side, right? Or excuse me, on the left, but meaning being on the correct side. And then you have Elon Musk, who's about saying about free speech. That's why I bought this, blah blah. And I
Right.
feel like there's going to be these two large camps, and that's what is represented by these two guys. That's
Well,
basically it.
I want to hear them talk trash.
Oh, oh my
Z-
God.
Z- Zuckerberger is like, I have more ideas with AI, and Elon Musk, yeah, bitch, but I have a flamethrower.
Yeah,
that
no, I mean,
that's the type of trash they'll talk.
the truth is okay. The truth is between trash talking, it's very easy. Elon Musk beats him 100% just because he literally trash talks all the time on like Twitter, like constantly. So that's literally he's proficient at it. Whereas Zuckerberg, I don't know if I've ever heard him talk trash. By the way, they will have something in common though during this fight if it actually does happen. They both are on the spectrum, and this is not even a like
What? Sure.
Elon Musk, he said he has, oh, I forgot what it's called, but he has,
Asperger?
yeah, Asperger,
Oh, really?
yeah, no, yeah, that's what he has, yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
and there's no way that Zuckerberg is normal as well. Like he's also on the spectrum for sure.
Hey,
And
wait a second. He's a Jew. How dare you?
oh no, wait, no, Elon Musk isn't a Jew. No, 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 he's not.
No, no,
No, no, no, yeah,
no.
but no,
I said Zuckerberg is a Jew.
yes, I think he is. He's definitely not practicing, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, like
yeah,
we know what he's practicing in private.
I who knows. But
Exactly.
anyways, yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but okay. Yeah, no, I mean, to me, I'm interested in this. I do think that that it means more. At least if I had to give, I would say this. I think it means more to Elon Musk to win than it does for Zuckerberg, because I think if Zuckerberg loses, people are like, yeah, well, he's smaller and he's a geek and blah blah blah, like basically everything you said. So I think that the leeway is going to be there.
Maybe.
Elon Musk was the one who said, of course I could beat him, even if I am not trained, even if not whatever. I'm just much bigger and stronger than he is.
Right. Even
And so
if
so there's like
you eat hot
that. What?
dogs.
Say it
Even
again.
if I eat pizza and hot dogs and all that stuff, maybe if I shake my belly a little bit, it'll catch him in the face.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if Elon Musk could get like Joe Rogan to like sub in for him during the fight,
Of course.
then yes. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I
Yeah.
I I, I don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. So in conclusion,
Yeah.
for me. I think this is a publicity stunt. I really don't think it will happen. If it does happen, I'll love to watch it. I'll even pay for it, which says a lot.
Oh,
You know,
if you're gonna pay for it, then oh man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think this is to make money off of the fight. I think this is just to bring more attention to their companies, even though I
This would be huge advertisement for sure.
yeah, but I think that Tesla already has all that. I think it's more for Meta, in my opinion. I think Tesla is just killing it. I don't think you need more advertising.
Hmm.
But sure, sure. I mean, as for the actual individual person, then yeah, I mean, they're going to be in the limelight. So I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my perspective on
Yeah, we just disagree, but let's move on to our next topic. So
it.
what we got?
Yeah. The next topic is Starbucks again. We seem to discuss Starbucks every week now for some reason.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. That's just my perspective. Yeah, so
Wait,
uh,
you mean Starbucks as in like a coffee place, right? You don't mean like politically or anything. You just mean like just
no, no,
okay.
no, just their service sucks. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I
That no,
just
no, no. I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure if you're making like a political stance. I just don't. Okay.
no,
Okay,
no,
go
no.
for
I'm not making any political stances anyway.
it. Okay.
So what's happening is the Pride Month and the fact that Starbucks decided not to decorate their stores in that particular fashion, and actually telling employees not to do so, has a lot of employees in a very negative.
Well, hold on. I just want to clarify. When you're saying they're telling their employees, they're telling the stores, like the people that run them, to
Yeah,
not put up any decorations.
yeah.
It's not they're not making it like if you're gay, don't tell people you're gay kind of thing. So I just
No,
want to
no,
clarify that.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the actual decorations of the
Right. Right.
store. They're actually technically banning all that,
Mhm.
and a lot of the employees are, very upset, and they actually organized a worker strike because of that. I guess they don't care about money; they care more about decorations. And supposedly 3,500 all across the nation, maybe even the world, they're going to actually do a strike. Obviously, this is pretty weird news from my perspective, because they're asking for decorations. that's pretty
Well,
much that's pretty much all they're asking for, and Starbucks is saying nope. That's very
well,
disruptive.
well. Okay.
We don't
Well,
want to
let's.
go the political route, which I agree. I
Well,
agree.
hold on a second. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. Okay. So they're not actually like this isn't like them going, hey, we want decorations. No, no. They want pride decorations. They
Yeah,
want to be able, right. So this is something that Starbucks has been doing for many years at this point. I'm not exactly sure how many, but at least 5, maybe more years than that. But this is something that they've been doing every single year. This was something that was sponsored by the stores. They would actually have those decorations. This year, let's be honest, the reason why they're doing this is because they're seeing an effect from Bud Light. They're seeing how much the stock dropped. They're seeing how Target is being affected by this. They're seeing how companies now are being affected by going into the political stance. And they're like, is this worth it? If we just don't do anything, we don't have to participate in anybody hating us and like our stock going down. Now, the question is that a smart move short run, or is it a dumb move and potentially in the long run?
I yet again, I mean, they might get sued and all that stuff by the LGBTQ. I mean,
Well,
overall,
sued. I don't know if they could be sued for it because they're literally not doing anything.
you never know. I mean, there might be a
I
lot.
guess, but I'm like, we're
Not to
suing
say
you for not representing us.
right.
I don't know
Not
what the basis
meaning
of the lawsuit would
uh,
be.
right. Meaning not to say that they will win. I mean, they might actually file a lawsuit that that's
Sure.
what they want and this. But yet again, they're the minority anyway,
Okay,
right?
okay, hold on. Do you think that this could be like could this actually backfire the opposite way? So you know how like the right decided that hey, we're not going to participate in stores or in businesses that go against our own ideals, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that Starbucks could have the opposite shift, where people who are pro pride, not decorations, but pro pride movement, let's put it this way, are therefore, the trans movement, therefore the just basically all of these other movements as well, the LGBTQ plus movements. Do you think that this could have the opposite effect, where people are like, I'm not going to go to Starbucks, I'm going to now go to Coffee Bean or whatever other place? Or do you think that this won't have anywhere near the same effect?
No, I don't think it's going to have that big of an effect. I think that people, of course, will probably, who are in this movement, are going to back away from Starbucks. They're going to go somewhere else. But that's only going to last for a short period of time. The same thing that's happening with Bud Light. They're saying that now, the storm is clearing out. People are going back. Like I said before, like it's
I don't know. That's the
not going to last
thing.
for long.
I see. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not sure. Like, I understand what Bud Light wants to pass as, like, oh no, no, we're back, everything is okay now. I think they're just trying not to pass. I really don't know if there's a lot of people now are going back to Bud Light. I'm not sure if that's like, because I think there's a lot of people on the right that are genuinely happy with what is occurring with Bud Light. They're happy that their movement is actually having an effect on the company that decided to go against their own ideals, and, oh, excuse me, the rights ideals. And I feel like that there's a lot of people who are absolutely fine with not going there anymore. Excuse me, not buying Bud Light. So I don't know. Like, I feel like that thing about Bud Light now doing better all of a sudden, I think that's just wishful thinking. That's at least what I think.
Right, right. Yeah, I maybe that's true. Maybe that's not true. Maybe they're trying to publicize right now that, oh, everything's cool. People are coming back again, and we're doing fine. For the stockholders, right? I mean, that
Right. That's
could be true,
that's
right?
literally what I'm saying. That's what I think. What it is. They're
Yeah,
more like, hey, trust us, guys. Everything
yeah.
is looking good now.
I think a lot of people love Starbucks, and they might not like Coffee Bean. That's why
Now the question is, are people more addicted to coffee or beer?
Uh, coffee if you're on the left, and if you're on the right, then beer usually. But yet again, in California, there are a lot of Latinos, and they are supposedly on the left, but honestly, technically, they are on the right.
Yeah,
But
most I would say definitely more right. Even though,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So on the left, it's coffee, on the right, it's beer, right? So I think if you're addicted to coffee, you're addicted for life. For
But
life.
but are you addicted to Starbucks coffee, or you're
Yes.
addicted to coffee?
Well, coffee, but Starbucks is the number one brand for coffee. And like I said, people love to go to Starbucks, and they spend a lot of money on Starbucks. And I don't think it's going to stop, because of this. Yet again, I think people jump on the bandwagon. LGBTQ, LGBTQ. I love LGBTQ. Everybody, should celebrate LGBTQ. But when it comes down to it, they're gonna run over LGBTQ to actually get coffee. That I'm just making.
Oh, you mean, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could see, again, I could see what you're saying to be the case. I could see that there's people who would not accept, like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, we support you, yeah, we support you. I'm just gonna go to a different Starbucks so people won't see me. I could see that being the case.
Yeah,
That, like people will just still buy their coffee, and like who's gonna know that I'm still buying their coffee?
exactly,
Um,
exactly.
but I could see the like businesses. It just seems like, at least looking at Starbucks, it seems like businesses are learning the thing. They're only learning it the hard way, unfortunately, but they're learning the thing of, like, you know what? Maybe going political isn't the right thing. And I keep on saying this because I'm like, to me, I just don't want anybody political. I don't want Bud Light to be political. I don't want Starbucks to be. I don't want any company to be political. Just do the thing that you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
You should
I agree
just,
with
like, your Starbucks, make the coffee as best as possible, and make sure the service is as great as possible. That's it.
exactly.
That's your only job. You don't have to show me any flag. You don't
Yeah,
have to. You don't have to. Appease the left or the right. Just don't appease anybody. Just make the good product, and that's all we're there for.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm kind of glad that there's companies now, maybe like Starbucks would be kind of the first, where they're like, hey, you know what, we're just going to be non-political here. We're going to give you the coffee, we're going to give you the service. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. That's how it should be. And if there's a paying customer, then treat them right, and leave the politics to the politicians. And this is why I hate the phrase politically incorrect, right? Because
Really?
regular people should not be using, oh, you're politically incorrect. What do you mean? I'm not a politician. I can say whatever the hell I want, right? You know what I mean? So that's what the companies have to do. And
Well,
Starbucks,
again, but that's the thing. It's
please
not even being
give
politically
better customer service.
right, right. No, no, but again, it's like you don't have to be politically incorrect or politically correct. Just don't be political in the first place. I never
Yeah.
like you don't go to like McDonald's and go like, wait a second, where's the flag? How do I know that you represent everybody that I agree with? Huh? No, it's like no. You go like, hey, can I have a number one? Like, and that's it. And you walk out, and that's it. You got your food.
Yep.
It's not this thing, but the thing is, but they're all trying to get the brownie points. They're like, well, before, because there was no problem there. You could just say, hey, we're for this movement, we're for this movement, and there was like that didn't affect their business. Now I think they're seeing that stuff like this is affecting their business, so they're like, you know what? Let's potentially not be this political. And again, I'm all for it. Don't put politics in your business, especially when your business has nothing to do with politics.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And
So
that's the end of that.
yeah, all right, all right. Let's move on to our last topic of the day. This is a interesting, fun one, just to kind of throw out. So there's a big movement of really great players in the NBA, and there was a draft just yesterday, and the number one player was Victor Wembanyama. He was chosen number one by the San Antonio Spurs. The reason why we're even talking about this is because this guy is not coming in as just another number one player who might be really good potentially. No, this he's coming in as potentially the greatest player to ever play in the game. That's at least the hype behind him. He is, just for anyone to understand, he is 7'5", but yet moves and shoots like a guard. He has the skills of a guard being 7'5" tall. He has been talked about by the media and in the sports world since he was in like junior high, where he was close to already 7 foot tall at that point. So this guy has been coming in with this huge, overwhelming, like he can be the greatest because at 7'5", there's really no one in the NBA that could stop him, especially the fact that he can actually jump at 7'5". Most seven over seven guys have a really hard time actually jumping. He can actually jump. He moves fast. He has skills. He has the capability at this point to become legitimately a really great player. Now, my question to you is, he's going to San Antonio. LeBron James had a huge effect on Ohio when he went to Cleveland to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you think that Victor Wembanyama has the potential to, in any way, like make San Antonio that much bigger, that much larger, or basically bring a lot of money to it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
that no, I mean, I'm not saying 100%. I think it's going to take time. And look, if he wins the Rookie of the Year, if he takes them to the playoffs, if he actually makes a lot of points, and he averages a lot of points per game. I mean, it depends on if people are talking about him. I mean, that all depends. But I looked at his game recently, and yeah, I mean, he is definitely a sensation. He can pretty much do everything from what I see. I haven't seen him post up necessarily. He can shoot the three. He can dunk over people. He can dribble around people. He really plays like a point guard in the sense who's 7'5", which is ridiculous because most most players who are over 7 feet have trouble moving,
yeah.
and he's just like dribbling and dunking over people left and right. Yeah, I mean, to say that he's the greatest player is just like ridiculous to me. He could be better, than Kobe or LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan is at the pinnacle when he retired the first time with 6 championships. This guy has nothing yet, and
Well, he hasn't played a game yet,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. I mean, he yet again, if he comes in and he only averages like 10 points and has a triple double every night, you can't say that he's better than Michael Jordan. He has to
Of
have
course.
an effect on the game where he's the leader. He takes the shot when it's needed. And remember, the number one thing, like look at Zion Williamson, like the way that he plays. Like he plays like a beast, and he's nowhere near 7'5", right? He
Yeah,
he
I think he's
plays.
like 6'5", I think actually.
I don't maybe 6'5", 6'6", something like that.
Hmm.
And he's been plagued with injuries. So look, if this guy, is able to play most of the season, has no injuries, which for 7'5", he's able to actually accomplish that. I think he would be considered top 10 at best as a center. I don't think he's gonna be considered even the best center in the NBA ever. I don't think so. I think it's so difficult uh, from from year to year to actually get better and stay in a consistent shape because I'm assuming he's not gonna get skinnier, right?
Skinnier? No.
Yeah,
If he gets any skinnier, they put him in a hospital.
right,
No,
right.
he's already ultra skinny.
So then he's gonna put on weight. So we agree that he has to put on some weight, and with weight comes consequences at his height.
I
So
I agree with you, but there's a lot of players who are tall who never like everybody says they should gain weight, they should, but they never do. Like Kevin Durant is a really good example of that, who
yeah,
has always stayed skinny.
yeah. But I think
Garnett has always stayed skinny, but
yeah, but
but to me, I just want to make this point. I don't. I think his because of his height and because of the way that he moves, I think he's getting a lot of recognition that I think he's going to be a legit all-star player. I don't know if he'll ever be an MVP. I think that his hype is way overblown. And the reason why I say this is because I've watched him play, and while he can do things at 7'5" that you're like, wow, I can't believe he moves the way that he does. But at the same time, he he's not using his height to his advantage. He's not posting up at like close up at like 5 or 8 feet away from the basket and just scoring. He's taking like longer shots. He's being boxed out really easily because of how skinny he is. Um, I just feel like unless he learns how to play inside where he could really use his advantage of height, I don't think he's ever going to become that player that everybody believes that he will become. Um, but at the same time, he's definitely not going to be a bad player. There's no question. Like as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a legit all star. But I don't see him being what people are talking about. And I think that for San Antonio, I don't think this makes that big of a difference. In all honesty, San Antonio is a like they have lots of championships like behind them with the people they had before that, and I don't think that Victor Wembanyama is going to make that big of a difference. That's what I at least think.
well, I mean, he can. I mean, yet again, not at the moment, but if he does lead them to the playoffs and he wins, rookie of the year, if he's looking good, no injuries and all that stuff, I mean, there is a potential for that, and
But again, it's about how he does it. It's
yeah.
meaning I think he's going to lead them to the playoffs eventually. Whether it's going to be the first year, it's going to be the second year, he will lead them. It's the question of if he ever wins a championship, will he be able to like do it in a dominant fashion, the way that
Tim
the
Duncan
Michael Jordans of the world, the
or
Shaqs
Tim
of the world?
Duncan.
Yeah, sure. To some extent, I actually believe Tim Duncan was overrated personally, but that's a different.
I think he
That's
was underrated. How could he be overrated? Are you kidding?
okay. I'll ask you a simple question. Can you tell me what he was exceptional at as a player? if
yeah,
that was the case.
you
One,
could-
no, but it cannot be anything of like his grit or his tenacity or anything, but like specifically in terms of points, in terms of rebounds, in terms of assists, in terms of his defense, anything, any one thing that you would go like he was the best at this.
well,
Any one thing. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that he was the best at anything, but I
Well,
mean,
no, but remember he is by pretty much everyone. The consensus is he's the best power forward of all time. So my question is, what is he the best at? And
that's
please don't say because he won championships, because he wasn't the
no,
only one on the team.
no. But when he came, San Antonio started winning. Before that, they
Oh,
didn't.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Did they
So
not have any other players there?
no, they did. They had good players, but I mean, like David Robinson wasn't able to win a championship
Yeah,
not
but
until he.
remember Tony Parker was there. Remember
Well,
Ginobili was
Tony
there.
Parker came later, and Ginobili came later, and
Yeah, but they had
yeah,
stars outside of him. The thing is, the
yeah.
thing about Spurs is they had a good overall team, though.
Yes, yes,
And Tim
absolutely.
Duncan was a big part of that, but he wasn't a Michael Jordan or a Shaq or a Kobe, like somebody who was the dominant, like everything goes through me kind of player. That wasn't him. He was a cog in the machine, but he was a cog.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan was the
okay.
machine and everybody else was the cog.
Yeah.
That's why I say that
That's a
he's overrated as a
that's
player.
a rarity. I think that's a. I mean, yes, that does happen, but I don't think he was overrated because maybe now they're saying that he's the greatest forward of all time. But when he was playing, it was just like, yeah, Tim Duncan is a really good player,
Yeah,
but
I
uh,
agree. I'm in no way saying he's not a good player. I'm
yeah.
saying I just don't think he's the greatest power forward.
I
That's
mean, as
that's
far
what I'm
as
saying.
like championships go,
Championships.
yeah,
Well, I mean, unless you count, I don't know if people count Bill Russell as a center or power forward,
no,
but
center.
center. Okay,
Yeah.
because I think he was like 6'11", right?
No,
Or
that's
he's 6'10", something like that.
6'10", maybe. But he should have definitely been playing a power forward.
Right.
But
I mean, technically, Bill Russell and him played a very similar type of,
Bill Russell.
position because Tim Duncan later on was a center for like a good like 5 or 8 years or so. He was a center, and when he started, he was a power forward though.
Right, because what's his name? David Robinson was a center, right? So,
Yes. Mhm.
but you can't compare, in my opinion. Like Bill Russell, I don't know if he shot the ball much. I mean, he was more of an inside player. Tim Duncan can pretty much like do everything as
No,
far as
I don't think he was a 3-point shooter. That
no,
wasn't a thing.
no, but I mean, he could take it and make it, but yeah, he wasn't actually known for taking threes. But I really do. This is just my opinion. I think most people will disagree with me, but I think Bill Russell's overrated because he was playing in the era where there were not a lot of big men, right?
I agree with you,
Yeah.
but again, but we could really say that about practically everyone during that era. They were like if you
I
were
don't know.
6'10", if you
Not
were whatever, you were basically a
I
towering
I don't
figure.
think I don't think necessarily Will Chamberlain was overrated. I mean,
I absolutely believe he was overrated. Will Chamberlain, are you like he was
no.
without a doubt overrated because remember, if you ever watch a tape of Will Chamberlain play, he was not somebody who was like guarded by like these elite players. It's the equivalent, by the way. It's the equivalent. I don't know if you heard about Dwight Howard going to China,
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
think it was China, right? Okay.
I saw him
His
play in China. Yeah.
Okay, his first game, he had like close to like 50 points, over 20 rebounds. He had a bunch of assists. He was an unstoppable force. And
Yeah.
this is at the end of his career. And that's what I think happened with Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain was a true, really good player at a time where there weren't really good players and
Yeah.
weren't big
Yeah.
guys around.
That I agree. Yeah.
And because of that, his star shined more than everybody else's. If he played in the league today, right now, I think he would be a very good star player. He would never be the gold standard in a lot of people's eyes
Well,
as
okay,
somebody who is,
he would never score 100 points or
of
average.
course,
I think he
like
averaged
over 20 rebounds a game. He averaged triple doubles at a certain point. No, of course, he would never
he
be those
averaged
guys.
he averaged seasons of like 50 points per. Yeah,
Yeah,
that wouldn't happen.
right.
But
That was
but
because of the competition he was playing.
he would be similar to Shaq, I think. Similar.
I think Shaq is the more dominant player. I think Shaq played at a time where he played guys who were as big as he is, who were as tall as he is. They were just they couldn't guard him. He was
I
actually
think
better
I
than them.
think I think the mass of Shaq just overwhelmed everybody. But Will Chamberlain supposedly was stronger. Yet again,
Right, right. Because
uh,
I think Will Chamberlain has like a background, and like I think he was like a legit athlete. So I'm not taking
yeah,
away that he wasn't an athlete, and
yeah,
I'm not saying that he wouldn't be good now. I just think that anyone from back then, when you're playing versus
yeah,
guys who are not as good, the same way as Dwight Howard is playing, at like he's like close to 40, and now all of a sudden going to China and he's a 50 point a game
yeah,
player,
yeah,
over 20 rebounds. It's like, okay,
yeah.
it's the competition you're playing and not necessarily your skill. That's
Yeah.
basically the way I feel.
So in conclusion, I really do think that
Yeah, we definitely went off on a tangent here.
that's fine. That's fine. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is Victor, this rookie coming into the NBA for the San Antonio Spurs,
Mm.
if he actually lives up to the hype, which I don't think he will, then yes, he's gonna put San Antonio back on the map. But I really think that he's probably going to be the most overrated rookie to actually go into the NBA, and he might average at the most maybe like 20 points per game. If I'm wrong,
Wow.
then great for him. but yeah, that's my perspective on that.
Even though I think he's overrated now, I don't think he's going to be overrated in the future. I do think he's going to be an all-star player. I do see him being a 25 uh, plus points a game. I don't think he's going to have that big of an impact for San Antonio though, because I think the impact has already been felt a while ago, and unless he becomes the next Jordan-esque player, I don't think this has almost any effect on San Antonio. That's my thing. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us for another one. We hope to see you here next week, and please like and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you guys later.